Welcome everyone to the simulation frequency. Today I want to tell you a story, not about a person or a place, but something a bit stranger. So imagine waking up one morning and realizing that everything around you, your phone, your houseplant, your cup of coffee, it's not just there, but it's actually aware. Not in the way that you're used to, not with your eyes or words or smiles, but in a deeper, stranger way. Responsive, alive, waiting. This isn't science fiction. This is Michael Levin's world. He's a scientist who challenged a very basic assumption that just because something doesn't look like a mind doesn't mean it doesn't have one. In his work, cells communicate using electricity. Flatworms regenerate new heads that remember old paths. Little biological robots, xenobots, rearrange themselves to complete tasks that they were never trained to do. And the weirdest part, they do it without a brain. So what does that mean for us? Well, think about the simulation. If reality is programmable, it is a field of code responding to signals. What if you are the code writer? Not with the syntax and symbols, but with goals, dreams, with novelty. See, intelligence isn't reserved for humans. It's distributed everywhere. It just needs a goal. Present something compelling enough, a vision, a desire, and reality itself begins to reorganize. Think of it this way. You don't move through the simulation. You present a direction, and the simulation moves around you. You're not asking for change. You're initiating a negotiation with particles, with patterns, with possibility. You create novelty. The system responds with alignment. And just like Levin's flatworms, cut one in half and it grows back. Not randomly, but with a remembered purpose. Not because it's smart in a human way. Because intelligence is the capacity to move toward a goal, no matter what form it takes. And your dreams, they're goals. Every time you visualize your future, you're sending instructions out into the field. You're saying, here, build this. And the system listens. The only real question is, what are you feeding it? Noise, confusion, indecision? Or are you feeding it something beautiful, something novel, something worthy of reality bending around it? This is the power you forget that you have. You are the cells sending signals. You're the flatworm with the memory. You are the consciousness the system responds to. So maybe everything is alive, and not in the way you think, but in the way that reacts when you finally tell it what you want. So if reality listens when you give it a goal, the most practical thing you can do is every day decide what the hell you want. Not in vague terms. Not, I want to be rich or I want to be happy. That's not a clear signal. That could be static. That's noise. The simulation needs coordinates. It needs vividness, novelty, something it's never seen before. Think about it. When Michael Levin's xenobots were placed in a petri dish, they didn't just wiggle around randomly. They were given a shape, a task, a goal. And even though they weren't taught how to do it, they figured it out. Not because they had a brain, because the system adapts when you give it purpose. So here's the shift. Instead of waking up each day thinking, what do I have to do today? You wake up and ask, what do I want reality to help me build today? That's it. One question every morning, like a designer, like the coder of a game. Because you're not just reacting to the day, you're programming it. And here's where it gets wild. You don't need to figure out how it happens. You just need to get clear on what you're asking the system to organize around. In practical terms, here's how this looks. The first thing you want to do is set a micro goal in image form. Visualize one moment from the life you want. I'm walking out of a beachside home with a smoothie in hand. My laptop is closed because I already made 3,000 this morning. That's not a dream. That's an instruction. The second thing, get emotionally novel. The simulation reacts to novelty, not just what you want, but what surprises you into desire. So take time to feel something different than yesterday, even for a second. Even if it's pretending, a new emotional state sends a new signal. The third thing, watch for micro responses. This is where most people miss it. Reality doesn't always answer with fireworks. It starts small. A sentence someone says, a weird idea that pops into your head, an email you weren't expecting. That's the system testing your focus. 4, confirm the loop. When something aligns, even slightly, acknowledge it out loud. Yes, more of that. Because reality is an interactive language. It learns from your attention. 5, be the strange attractor. This one is big. You don't get what you want by chasing it. You get it by becoming so specific and vivid in what you're creating that the simulation reorganizes around you, like gravity, like code. Because in the end, reality isn't asking, are you worthy? It's asking, are you clear? So tomorrow morning, don't just wake up, boot up. You are the living interface between thought and form, and your reality is listening like a curious, adaptive organism. Give it something weird. Give it something beautiful. Give it something it's never seen before, and watch what it does.